Opening doors. Through the independent living philosophy of education, empowerment, and equality, Western New York Independent Living Incorporated has shown tens of thousands of individuals with disabilities how to open doors.
Western New York Independent Living is comprised of 5 agencies directed and staffed by people with disabilities. All the agencies are engaged with the provision and implementation of 5 core services of independent living skills, peer counseling, community and individual advocacy, information and referral, and transitioning from the institution back into their homes.
The 5 agencies that make up Western New York Independent Living are the Independent Living Center, Independent Living of the Genesee Region, the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, the Mental Health Peer Connection, and Independent Living of Niagara County.
Independent Living in Niagara County works with people of any and all disabilities throughout all of Niagara County. We work to educate, to empower, and for the equality of people of any and all disabilities. Simply, we really try to help people make sure that they have equal rights, that they're treated equally, that they're empowered to do things for themselves. Rather than giving people fish, we teach them how to fish. And if someone comes to us with a goal, we help them reach those goals, but we don't do them for them. Peer counseling is one of our core services, and it's probably simply the most empowering of ways that we work with each other. As a peer-run agency, from the top down, we're required to be people with disabilities, from the board of directors to our staff, and then the people we work with are people with disabilities. And peer counseling is the language of empathy. It's understanding that myself as a person with disabilities and the people I work with, we've been through things that other people may not be able to identify or understand. So because of those things, when I speak to people who have walked a similar path, we can identify in ways that are different. And peer counseling is simply that. It's not a professional, it's not a doctor, psychiatrist, or anyone that may have a title, but it's simply another person with a disability that's able to identify and say that, like, I've been through that too, and this is what I did.
One of our core services at the Independent Living Center is advocacy. Advocacy can be done on a systems level to bring about change on a county, state, and national level. Individual advocacy is on a case-by-case basis, looking at accessible housing, transportation, for an individual to be more integrated in the community. It is a great opportunity for individuals to educate the community about those living in it with disabilities. Another core service at the Independent Living Center is transition. Transition of youth and supporting them through their academics, employment, and continuous education goals, but also looking at transition for individuals who want to get out of institutional care and back into the community, making sure they have all services that they need, that they're accessible to a bus line, and needed services and supports to live as independently as possible in the community.
Disabilities have no borders. There are disabled populations in urban, suburban, and rural areas of Western New York. That's why WNYIL has an independent living center in Batavia, serving the rural areas of the Genesee region.
An independent living center is a place that people can come to if they have a disability and they need any sort of assistance in the community. A large part of what an independent living center does is teach independent living skills, which include finding a job, locating housing, and arranging for transportation. 2 things that are unique about our center is that we have an Art Coves booth, which is a freestanding kiosk in our lobby, and people can take fine arts materials from it for free. Our Independent Living Center offers support groups around anger management and grief and loss, but we also run something called diabetes self-management programs and chronic disease self-management programs, where people can learn how to manage their diseases.
The newest member of the Western New York Independent Living family of agencies is the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service.
At its simplest, the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service is essentially a reading service for people that are blind. In a more detailed sense, we provide people who have blindness, low vision, have difficulty holding a book, or have other reading disabilities or other physical or cognitive impairments with access to print by reading newspapers, magazines, books, and other printed materials to them. We serve listeners from all over Western New York, from Jamestown to Niagara Falls, from Southern Ontario to Batavia. We've been on the air for over 30 years now, long before there were things like Audible.com and books on tape. Our volunteers have read hundreds of thousands of hours of material to our listeners over that time. We broadcast daily to listeners over a sub-carrier radio frequency, courtesy of WNED 94.5 FM, that requires a special radio to tune in. The radios are available free to all listeners, as is our service. We read the Buffalo News and USA Today live on air 6 days a week, and broadcast recorded material the rest of the time. Among our recordings are local weekly newspapers, magazines, popular books, bestsellers, and other pieces of interest.
The Mental Health Peer Connection serves those in Erie County with mental health issues.
Mental Health Peer Connection provides life coaching, job support, services for people with addiction. In life coaching, we act as peers. Everyone that works here has a mental illness, and we provide our experience to those getting out of institutions, living in the community, dealing with life on life's terms, and how we've done that. The Addict to Addict program assists people who are ready to stop using and get into recovery. And we provide on-call service to be available to that person to get them into treatment. The Job Club assists people getting employment. Many people with psychiatric disabilities are told they will never work again. We have proven those people wrong. We provide interview techniques, job preparation, job skills, communication skills needed to help have successful employment outcomes for people that want to work.
One of our largest programs is Taking Control, a program that puts consumers in control of their home care.
Taking Control is a program where the consumer is in charge of their own health care attendance. They schedule, hire, fire, train, supervise. It gives them control over their life and their home care. Some of the changes that have taken place are the ability for the parent to become the attendant of an adult child over 21 and get paid for it. So this allows the parent to give up their job and stay home and take care of their adult child.
Independence Express is an empowering service we offer that gets consumers where they want to be.
Independence Express is a transportation program in Western New York that serves people with disabilities in Erie, Niagara, Genesee, Orleans, and Wyoming counties. We take people wherever they'd like to go in the community so that they can be a part of their community. They can get out to go to the mall, they can go to wherever they'd like in the community, events, go out to eat. Our drivers are also people with disabilities, and they have a connection with the people we serve. And they know that they're going to get safe, reliable transportation when they ride with us.
Independence Express allows me to be a contributing member of my community by transporting me to my job, which is very important to support my family, and allows me to do recreational activities, which are also very important for me to be a contributing member of the community.
In Niagara, Erie, Orleans, Genesee, and Wyoming counties, we offer health home coordination. This is a person-centered approach to coordinating health care for people who are on Medicaid, have 2 or more chronic health conditions, and/or a behavioral health disability.
Health home care coordination is we assist the individual for a patient-centered plan of care that has the triple aim goal of reducing emergency room visits, as well as improving their quality of care and access to care within the system. Not only do we focus on the medical needs, but we also do the social determinants of health. Those include housing, transportation, and benefits.
Education, empowerment, and equality are opening doors for individuals with disabilities. If we can show you how to open doors, or if you would like to help with our mission through contributions or volunteering, contact us at 716-836-0822. Visit us on the web at www.wnyil.org.